Hello and welcome back to End the Slant. My name is Braden, and as always, I'm joined with Dustin and Alex. Today is episode number 78, recording this on the 22nd on a Friday before we get into the Sunday games. Before we go any further, how are you guys doing?
Good. I did not short Daniel Jones yesterday, and I'm glad I did.
How are you doing, Alex?
I'm all right, man. Fantasy teams are looking pretty damn good, though, so I'm happy about that.
Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Subscribe if you're new around here, as always, greatly appreciated. But, of course, we had a football game yesterday. We had the Giants take on the 49ers. Giants head to San Francisco. And this game in particular was kind of an interesting one.
It was pretty good for early.
It was good early, and then the 49ers started to kind of just run away with it. Brock Purdy had a little bit of trouble with some throws early on, and then overall looked sharp going forward. But Alex, obviously, you're the Giants fan here, so I'll let you have the floor a little bit.
Golly. All right, so let's just start off with Brock Purdy did have some bad throws. We had 3 opportunities to make interceptions. One of them was with George Kittle. It was like an out route or deep fade. I don't know what the route was, but it could have been picked easily. There was a goal line play where Deontay Banks was locking him up. Could have picked that one. And then there was a tip ball that ended up being caught by the 49ers. I forgot which receiver caught. I think it was Jennings or something.
Yeah, I think so.
So like 3 opportunities. We could have like changed the ball game right there. And then a couple of other scenarios is where our O-line looks like shit, dude. Like, it does not look good. Like, last night after I, like, kind of sat on the thoughts, you know, Daniel Jones didn't look the best. There was a couple opportunities. He could have got the ball out. He didn't look awful. He didn't look awful, but he didn't look the best. There was like a dig concept that he threw to Darren Waller that was slightly behind him. Darren Waller could have caught the pass, but he didn't. But as an NFL tight end and as an NFL quarterback, you would expect him to put that ball in the right spot every time. And then there was a slant route that was straight into Darren Waller's hands that he dropped and got picked off.
Oh, dude, that one was awful.
So,
I could not believe he dropped
There
it.
was another one where he threw it over Waller's head.
He did, yeah. And it was a one-on-one matchup. We were trying to get that all night because they were double teaming Darren Waller all night. And it's just upsetting to see that. There's one more point I had. I just can't remember what I was trying to say, bro. But I will say, for I already had the 49ers winning. I wasn't going to be a biased Giants fan. I already knew probably the outcome of this game. One more thing. There should have been a safety. We kind of got lucky there. Yeah. But, like, it was play action away from Nick Bosa.
And they don't even block him.
And I don't know what Daniel Bellinger was doing. Like, in that scenario, you either got to block him for 1 second or at least chip him. And, like, he just didn't even touch him, bro. And, like, literally I had 3 people text me saying, what the fuck is Daniel Bellinger doing? And I literally said, LOL, I don't know. I have no fucking idea what was going on. The run game was non-existent. We were trying to work to our strengths was the short game passing, and 49ers were all over it, bro. I don't really know what direction this team's gonna go with our offense, because honestly, our defense did look decent for the most part.
I will admit that they did look solid.
Something I really want to see from our team is I want to see Bobby Okereke just look a little more faster. I feel like he's a little behind, bro. Like, it looks like he's just playing slow. For some reason, the fucking screen game was fucking us up last night, bro. Like, people were like always posting memes about Brock Purdy, like how all he does is this, is like short game screens. And it's like, well, if that's working, that's what they're going to continue to do, because the 49ers showed why they're one of the best teams in the NFL last night, why they're physical. Deebo Samuel, bro. Oh my God.
6 receptions, 129 yards, and a touchdown.
As a fantasy owner, I loved it. But something, just missed tackles all night, bro. Like, man, Deebo was just making us look soft. That was like my biggest takeaway from the game. The last thing I want to say.
There was a few of those plays too. Not even just on Deebo. I feel like there was a couple on.
George Kittle too was just dogging on people, bro.
McCaffrey had a
nice throw.
They just showed why they're such a physical team. My last thought on it is last night I was like, oh, Daniel Jones awful. Daniel Jones didn't look the best, but it wasn't just on Daniel Jones. There's drop passes. The O-line looks so shitty, bro. We got our best offensive lineman out. So there's just a lot of things that got to get cleaned up. And I really don't just blame Daniel Jones. I mainly blame coaching on the offensive side of the ball, O-line, and then a little bit on the receiver. So it's just like basically the whole offensive unit is just what really drive this game away, like we were in it the whole game until the fourth quarter. So,
and another thing I saw too that I kind of liked, it was that I did not know who he was before last night's game, but dude, that Gary Brightwell dude, he got one reception last night, and dude, he went huge. I thought he was gonna get more targets during that game because that one little reception he had, he ran down the field, and you guys just kept on running solid or soft ass Matt Breida, dude. That dude is awful. I don't know. I don't know how old Gary. Like, I do not know this dude at all. I don't know how old he is or anything. But when he was out there on those reception plays, he did look solid. I know that his rushing yards weren't very good, but even just having Daniel Jones do a little check down to him would have been huge because it looked like he was getting the runs to break some stuff. So
the Giants' rushing attack wasn't there with Saquon being out, obviously. So. We're missing Andrew Thomas, Saquon. That's two pivotal pieces to the Giants. And then the 49ers didn't have Ayuk yesterday. But overall, you're not ready to push the panic button on Daniel Jones yet or anything like that?
Not really a big panic button. Like I said before, I've always been kind of on the fence with him. I think if he has a little more time in the pocket, he definitely can do something for us. I don't see him being like the go-to guy. I saw a lot of like Eli Manning in him last night, honestly, bro. Like just like you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. And I will say, like, one of the bad throws he had to Waller when it was like a dig concept was a little behind him. Yeah. They showed you like the angle where it's like behind the offense. Dude, the 49ers zone coverage was so on point. Like, he could not throw the ball downfield at all last night. I really want to see Jalen Hyatt get in the mix, bro. It just sucks that we're not utilizing all these fucking weapons. Like, Wandale played pretty good. Paris Campbell's finally getting a lot more catches. But those little short game passes aren't always going to work, especially against the Niners when they know that's what we're probably going to do. So...
What about Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy, man. Looked shaky at first.
He looked pretty bad at first, but he did turn up, I will admit. At first, I was like thinking in my head, I was like, this is the Brock Purdy I think. This is what I imagine Brock Purdy as at the beginning of the game, and then he did turn up, so I got to back down for a little bit again.
And McCaffrey looks amazing.
As
so
usual.
Far this year has been absolutely great. But yeah, overall, Niners beat them by 18. They took care of this one. We were all on the Niners. Even Alex chose the Niners. But any other takeaways from this game?
CMC's the best running back in the league.
Oh, definitely. I think it's not. It's just like how much better he is
Brock
now.
Purdy's the best QB in the league now.
I do love Brandon Ayuk, but I know he didn't play last night and hit a great first game. But I think Debo showed last night like why he's still a WR1.
Wow. Brady texted me the same thing. Ayuk's still a dog.
They both are. That's why the 49ers are loaded.
Yeah, it's 1A, 1B kind of scenario. It's like a Jamar Higgins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even though Jamar hasn't got a lot of targets.
Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Devonta Smith, AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But you
Dotson, McLaurin. I'm just kidding.
You already know Ayuk. Dude, I
love Dotson though, bro.
Ayuk's taking over again when he gets back. I promise.
I got a fantasy on it for him too.
They're both going to be great, so it's fine. But you guys ready to get into the predictions for this week?
Yes. Yeah.
So obviously, as I said, we all started 1-0 last night. Had it at the very top. So right now, if you don't remember, or if you're just now watching us, right now Jared is leading the way, which he is not here today, unfortunately. Alex is 2012. I'm in last at 18-14, and Alex and Dustin are tied. As I said, we all chose the 49ers, so we start off all 1-0. For the Colts and the Ravens, we are all in on the Ravens.
I think it would be a little bit closer, but AR not playing. I honestly think that if AR, because I'm assuming AR's out, and even if he did play, he probably wouldn't be fully healthy. So if AR was actually playing this game, I think it would be a little bit closer than what I think, because even though that the Ravens defense has looked pretty solid, I do think that the Colts could have given a run for their money, especially with all the cornerbacks that the Ravens have lost so far. Like, I feel like Michael Pittman in the receiving game could have had a huge game this week.
Yeah, so as Doug said, no Anthony Richardson. He's already been ruled out, so it'll be Gardner Minshew starting against the Ravens. We're all on the Ravens, are at home, should take care of business. They did also sign Kenyon Drake, so they bring another running back from
That's
the
what
dead.
They always do.
They always signing them running backs off the streets.
Bro, literally. Straight off the corner, bro.
It's like clockwork for them. And then for the Browns-Titans game, Dustin is on an island choosing the Tennessee Titans. We're all on the Browns. I can already assume why Dustin is picking this, but go ahead and just tell everyone why.
One, the Titans defense underrated. I think they can really actually hold down the Browns. I still do not like how Deshaun Watson has been playing, and especially with them losing Nick Chubb, that's just a huge loss. And I honestly feel like I don't think the Titans are going to win by a big margin, but I do think you see them squeak it out by like a field goal or something, like 3 points or something like that. So I think just the defense, and without Nick Chubb, I do think that the Titans do get it done this week.
We're all in on the Detroit Lions being the Falcons, although I think that game will be pretty close.
Yeah, I think it'll be closer than what we think. I could easily see the Falcons winning it. I just don't know if I can take the Falcons 3 weeks in a row. I know it's panned out for me taking them 2 weeks in a row, but 3 weeks in a row, I don't know if I can.
Arthur Smith has a way of keeping his team in games.
Yeah.
They got Bijan now. There's a chance the Falcons win this game 100%. Monter St. Brown could not play Sunday, but he's been limited in practice. We'll see. As far as the Packers Saints game is concerned, we're all on the Green Bay Packers. They might get Christian Watson and Aaron Jones back.
And you're in Lambeau.
Yeah, and Derek Carr has not looked all that impressive, in my opinion.
Dude. The Saints are so shaky, bro.
But I will say Jordan Love didn't look really good last week either. The first week he did. I know he still got 3 touchdowns, but it was like 3 touchdowns, like 150 yards. So
I expect it to look maybe different when he's got Watson.
Yeah.
Maybe if he plays, and then Aaron Jones.
And I know that Romeo Doubs hasn't been at full health.
Aaron Jones with his versatility.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we all did pick the Packers. I mean, I could easily see Derek Carr turning up and making this a game, but he just looked like ass so far.
Jags. We're all in on the Jags over the Houston Texans.
I do think the Texans will be a solid team within the next year or two. CJ Stroud definitely has looked really good. They ain't beating the Jags, I don't think.
Yeah, probably not. I think Trevor Lawrence and Jags should take care of this. And then we got the Dolphins Broncos, which should be a very interesting game. Obviously the Dolphins and Broncos made a trade with each other last year, where Bradley Chubb is now on the Dolphins. So this will be the first time Bradley Chubb gets to play his former team. But we're all in on the Dolphins. I will say the Broncos have looked better than last year. They do start off 0-2 though, so that's what matters at the end of the day.
And if Waddle misses, this
Waddle could miss. That's an underrated factor of this.
I could see the Broncos somehow sneaking this out, but I just don't know. Even if Jalen Waddle's out, I don't know if Patrick Surtain can keep up with Tyreek Hill. That's the one thing that's concerning me.
Miami's offense is just too explosive.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see the Broncos defense being able to keep
their
up
defense
the
plus
offense.
Their defense, Broncos defense has not been good at all this year.
And Raheem Mostert is finally like getting settled in again since all those injuries. So and he's just as fast as Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert's always been
flying.
Very
or like
fast.
Brady calls him, Raheem must start.
Raheem must start.
Yeah, he must start. For sure.
So if the Broncos can't slow down the Commanders' offense, I don't see how they can slow down the Dolphins' offense. I don't know. But the next game, this one I find the most interesting game of the week. Because
it definitely is.
Both these teams are 0-2. So one of these teams is walking out 0-3, which is crazy.
And like you would never predicted these teams to be 0-2.
Which is crazy to think about. This is going to be I got to say, points will be scored in this game. This should be a high.
This should be a shootout.
Over-under game. Alex is in on the Chargers. Actually,
I'm on an island.
I'm on an island on this one.
I almost went to Minnesota just because they're in Minnesota.
Yeah, I chose the Minnesota Vikings just because I trust Kevin O'Connell more than I do Brandon Staley. That's what it boils down to. I think both offenses are great. Austin Eckler most likely doesn't look like he's going to play on Sunday. We shall see. I think Keenan Allen has a great game. Again, I think there are a lot of points will be scored in this one. I'm just choosing the Vikings because I just have this gut feeling that Brandon Staley is going to find a way to do a Chargers thing like they usually do. And I would not be surprised if maybe they look into firing him and giving Kellen Moore that interim head coaching job for the rest of the year.
This was definitely a close game to choose. Like Alex said, he almost leaned towards the Vikings because it is at home. For me, the offensive power, obviously JJ is the best receiver out of all of them, but I think other than that, the Chargers wide receiver core overall is probably better. So I think this offensive power is just equal, and I do also like the Chargers defense more. So that's why I sneak him by. But as Brady says, the Chargers head coach is awful, and they could find a way to lose this. But
and we're getting an opportunity to see how Cam Akers will get in the mix this game.
Yeah.
I think
he might get some snaps.
I don't know if he's playing. I don't know.
I do not think he's nothing. So.
I just don't see how LA is going to drop to 0-3. I mean, obviously, I don't know how I see Minnesota dropping to 0-3, but somebody's walking out of this game. I know
this is about to be wild.
Bro.
Someone's dropping to 0-3.
Somebody. So whoever. The fans of Chargers or Minnesota, they're about to be
shambles,
bro. They're gonna be so sad
because neither one of these teams has any business being 0-3. But we shall see. Next game, Patriots versus the Jets. This one's pretty self-explanatory. We're all on the Patriots. Offenses looked good. They've played two really good teams.
Yeah, Mac Jones has looked very impressive.
And their defense is just,
Yeah,
man.
up there for
played
sure.
the Eagles, and then who would they play? I forgot who they played the other night. I totally forgot. I know it was a good team. It was the Dolphins. Yeah,
They played
lost
the Dolphins.
And they lost them by just a touchdown, right?
Yeah, and they've been close in both of them.
Yeah.
And
Mac
obviously,
Jones has looked 300 yards week 1. I knew that. I don't know what he did last week, but I'm sure it was pretty impressive.
and I have all the prediction in the world that Bill Belichick will find a way to kill Zach Wilson.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
Zach
man.
Wilson has not looked great at
He's going
all.
to eat his lunch.
Yeah, it's going to be like Sam Darnold seeing ghosts all over again, I imagine. So, yeah, I don't know. I just can't see
funny.
a world where... I mean, the Jets defense might be able to win them this game. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I think that would be the only way. I think that if the Jets defense can get like a couple touchdowns, then boom, maybe the Jets win this one. It is in New York, so we'll see. Next game is the Bills and the Commanders. Although my Commanders are off to a 2-0 start, I didn't want to be a biased one here and go, oh, my Commanders are winning. I will say,
I apologize for last week. I'm sorry about that.
I will say, though, it's in Washington. It's going to be a sold-out crowd again. If we find a way to beat the Bills, I will be very happy. But I'm not expecting it. We'll see. Jack Del Rio in the past has struggled against quarterbacks that run a lot, so I would have a feeling that Josh Allen's going to be running all over us.
Especially when you kind of saw like in the first half of the
Broncos
game, Russ was cooking.
Marvin Mims, bro.
No, not even just Marvin Mims, but I'm saying Russ was cooking. Like
Russ was cooking, but I had Marvin Mims on the bench. And I was like, God damn it, boy.
So if Russ is cooking, I guarantee you Josh Allen's cooking.
But
so.
after, as soon as that fumble hit, Russ couldn't do much of anything.
Yeah,
other than the Hail Mary at the end, obviously, which was kind of fluky, but it happened. So if the defense can play like they've been and we find a way to beat the Bills, I will be a very happy man, and I will feel like this Commanders team is legit. But it's hard for me to go out there and predict that. We'll see. Seattle, Carolina, no Bryce Young. Honestly, I would have liked this better for Seattle if Bryce Young was playing, but Andy Dalton is better than Bryce Young right now. I'm not saying long-term that will be the case, but Bryce Young has not looked that great in the first 2 weeks. But I think we're all in on the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, they did let us down week 1, but week 2 was just definitely a turn up from them. So
yeah, they beat the Lions. We all picked against them, and they
proved us wrong. Yeah.
We got the Cardinals, Cowboys. Cowboys defense. I will say they lost Trayvon Diggs. He tore his ACL in practice. Ben DiNucci, former Cowboys quarterback, said he never understood why the Cowboys did one-on-ones during the season. And yeah, that's how he got hurt, because they were doing one-on-ones, I guess. So Trayvon Diggs tears the ACL in practice, which is really unfortunate. Although Diggs, of course, some people call him overrated, he's still a big part of what the Cowboys do on defense.
He's overrated as hell, but
he's still a really good player. Even though he does give a bunch of yards, he's still a good player. So that sucks for them. That's going to be a very big loss.
Who's the backup?
They got like
they signed somebody.
They got like Noah. I forget. I don't know how to say his last name. And then they obviously have Stephon Gilmore. They have Noah. Dude, I'm
Crease and
Donovan
Wilson,
Jordan Lewis.
And see, I don't even know who that guy is.
Cowboys cornerback room definitely got her with the Trayvon Diggs, but they're playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been leading at half both times, but I don't know if they're able to do that against the Cowboys. I mean, Dak could go out there and give the Cardinals defense a couple touchdowns. Maybe I wouldn't rule that out, but I don't know if the Cardinals are going to be able to do anything on offense.
I really just want to see like Dak go loose, because you haven't really got to see it yet.
We haven't yet.
And this is the opportunity for him to get loose. This is why I'm still having a big question mark on, like, are the Cowboys, like, you know, a contender? But deep down, I do think they might be a contender this year. It's just I haven't really got to see Dak get loose. You haven't seen the offense really get tested yet, in my opinion.
They haven't had to.
No, they haven't.
I will say, like, this is not a week where I think you see Dak really get loose. I feel like they're just even without Trayvon Diggs, Marquise Brown is really like their only good Cardinals receiver, and I ain't even scared of him. So I think the Cowboys, Micah Parsons and all of them will still get the job done, and I think this is still going to be a blowout. Dude. You still won't see Dak Prescott get loose in this game.
And it's that pass rush, bro. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you gotta, the pass rush is just so elite. Like, even without Trayvon Diggs, they're gonna put so much pressure on Joshua Dobbs that it's just like, where is he throwing the football? You never know where he's gonna throw that football, bro.
Yeah.
So
next game, Bears versus Chiefs.
So self-explanatory.
The Bears
Man.
have not looked great whatsoever. They have, I mean, we kind of talked about Justin Fields on Tuesday. Justin Fields, literally, the way they have him playing right now is not the way Justin Fields should be playing football. I'm not saying it's a great trait for a quarterback to not be able to drop back, but Justin Fields is just not that guy. You can't have him drop back every play. You have to have more design run plays. I would expect that the Bears do have more design run plays this Sunday, but I don't see how they could come out here and beat the Chiefs, especially in Arrowhead. I don't see that happening.
And Kelsey's about to heat back up.
And with Taylor Swift in the mix, Kelsey's gonna go off.
He had to get some cutty real quick.
Yeah, he's got to get us some touchdowns for an Arrowhead. But also another thing too is I honestly feel like with how the Jags kind of like the Chiefs didn't even look that good against the Jags in my opinion. I feel like if you really did see Justin Fields turn up actually, well, not even him himself, I feel like the coaching staff like actually make a playbook for him. I feel like you could actually see this being a close game and maybe the Bears squeak it, but obviously without knowing how the head coach is going to play this week, Justin Fields is just too iffy right now because they're going to keep on sitting him in the pocket thinking he's a thrower, then they're going to keep on losing games. So
yeah, absolutely. Sunday Night Football, Steelers versus the Raiders. So I will say both offenses have not looked not that great. Steelers have not looked that great. Raiders haven't. I mean, week 1 was fine, but week 2 they did play the Bills. So, but we are all on the Steelers other than Dustin. Dustin has his island with the Raiders. He went on an island last week against the Bills, and he's willing to do it again. Although
this is not the Bills. I will say that I did tell him.
You tried to change it before we started. I said, no, buddy, it is locked in.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted us to tank at this point because I'm just over Jimmy G. Because this is what's making me mad is that everyone knows that Jimmy G cannot throw over like 20 fucking yards. So they just stack the box. That's also why Josh Jacobs hasn't been doing shit because all these teams are just stacking the box. We can't do anything. Nothing like. If Jimmy G can't start throwing more than 20 yards, I do not see us doing good anytime soon. I do like this game a little bit for us just because it is at home. And if Fitzpatrick does somehow miss, I do like it a little bit more too that way. I don't know what the injury report is on him, but if he is projected to miss, then I do think that we do have a chance, especially if he's out.
Dustin, I'd like to thank you for helping me catch up in the rankings right now. Because you guys are not winning.
Hey, Kenny Pickett
has not looked shit.
I know, but I don't think I'm sorry. I don't think the Raiders will win. But if they win, congrats, bro.
It's in Vegas, so
it is in Vegas.
Kenny Pickett is ass, dude. I'm sorry.
No, the Steelers defense is just so damn good, bro. TJ Watt's about to tear that shit up, bro.
We'll see. When we get the job done against another good defense,
you can text me and say "fuck you."
I'll just say, Dustin, you were trying to change your pick before we started.
Yeah, but now I gotta stick with this, so now I gotta give my reason why. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, and then 2 Monday night games again. They're doing 2 Monday games again.
So stupid in my opinion, but
Eagles, Bucks. We're all on the Eagles. Although the Buccaneers are 2-0, and Baker Mayfield will look pretty good.
No, Gilbert on the phone yesterday. He's like, I don't want you to be shocked when the Bucks destroy the Eagles. Like, no, they're not. No, they're not. I bet everything I own that the Bucks do not win this game.
I will say the Eagles' offense has been, it's been okay. I mean, there's been some slow points, but when Swift really got running, things really started to turn up for them. So maybe there's a world where the Bucks can slow down
I will say the
Eagles.
Bucks' run defense is really good too.
I also saw something about how Jalen Hurts said he's playing like 70% healthy right now or something like that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
but they did get a new OC too, so it's definitely a little shaky.
Yeah,
you know.
So we're all on the Eagles though. They're the better team here in this scenario, but it's any given Sunday, but in this case Monday. So there's a world where the Bucks win. And then for the last game, we got the Bengals and the Rams, which has a bunch of stories heading into it because I did not, for one, think I'd ever be picking the Rams, but I got the Rams beating the Bengals on Monday night. Jared agrees with me, and you two are all in on the Bengals. The reason for me is Joe Burrow may miss this game, so if that does happen, right now I believe people are saying that the Bengals don't even have a backup quarterback at the moment, which is wild. I don't know how true that is, but I wanted to look it up real quick because I think their backup got like signed off the practice squad. So now I guess it's Jake Browning, who I've never heard of in my entire life. So if it is Jake Browning, I know there was someone that got signed off their team yesterday, I think. Something I can't remember exactly what happened, but I just know the backup quarterback situation is a mess in Cincinnati right now. So if Joe Burrow were to miss this game, gives me some good confidence that the Rams, with the way they've been playing, I'm just riding with the way the Rams have been playing. They've been playing great. So,
and I'm gonna be honest, for this one, I literally asked one of my buddies who doesn't even watch or know football. I literally just looked at him. I said, Rams or Bengals? He literally said Bengals. I wrote it. John, right? I was with him and Skylar. I literally looked at John and said, hey, John, Rams, Bengals. And Skylar's like, I'd pick the Rams. And I was like, oh, yeah, I probably would too, John. I was like, I'm asking John. And whatever he picks, I'm writing down. He picked Bengals.
Well, we'll say as a Puka owner, I believe he's going to.
That is why Jared has them winning too. I promise. I
think he's about to tear their ass up, bro.
If the Bengals fall to 0-3.
Oh, panic button?
Panic button?
They've been there before.
Did they start 0-3 last year?
Not last year, maybe the year before.
No, I think they started.
They were like 1-4 or They were 1-4, I think, last year at one point.
They started 0-2 for sure last year.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
But they were like 1-4, and then they won like 9 games in a row.
Yeah, I'm not pushing the panic button.
I want to see. Did they start 0-2 or what?
I don't know if they started 0-3. The year before, they definitely started like 0-3, 0-2.
They started 0-2 last year.
See,
beat Pitt.
Lost, and they won. They had this stretch right here.
Yeah, so they started 2-3. It looks like last year. Well, 1-2. Yeah, then they got the Jets win, the Miami win. They lost to Baltimore, and then their last loss went to Cleveland, which Cleveland always seems to own them for some reason, and they won out the rest. Obviously, the Buffalo game got canceled, but it looked like the way that one was going, the Bengals were about to win that one too.
Yeah, definitely.
But. Yeah, so if the Bengals fall to 0-3, that will be interesting. Of course, there's a lot of teams that could fall to 0-3 this Sunday.
But even if they do fall to 0-3, I'm not pushing the panic button yet. There's a bunch of teams that you expect to be good this year that have started 0-2 so far. So even if it's another loss, I still think you could easily see the Bengals ending with 10 wins, you would say. I easily could see that still, even if they start off 0-3.
So yeah, let's do this. Just to end this off as a fun little exercise. Let's look at the 0-2 teams right now. So the Patriots 0-2.
They're definitely a team that can turn it around easily.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, they've been in both games. They've played 2 tough teams in the Dolphins and the Eagles, so I'm not too worried about them just yet. Chargers, Broncos. Both could potentially be 0-3. Broncos, it's going to be a tough win.
I don't see the Broncos turning it around, but I can see the Chargers.
If Chargers fall to 0-3, that should be a very interesting story to watch. And then the Bengals
0-2. That's 0-2. Crazy, bro.
Yeah. If they fall to 0-3, that will be very, very interesting. You got the Texans, of course, as well. That's not too surprising. So nothing to really talk about there. The Giants avoid 0-2 by obviously beating I guess they could be 0-3.
Dude, our schedule is so fucking hard, bro.
Yeah, if you lost to the Cardinals, that would have been really bad, but thankfully y'all got that win. Cardinals 0-2, no surprise there, although they've been pretty scrappy in both the games. And then Vikings, Bears, both teams we expected to maybe make some noise this year. The Bears have looked terrible. The Vikings, they've been in some games week 1. Yeah, both games are close.
Defense, I feel like.
Yeah, defense has let them. Well, defense did okay week 1.
Yeah.
But
but even their defense against the Eagles, dude, their defense
it was just
playing
a
well.
matter of when they started running. That's when it literally went down.
They were put in bad positions, bro. The whole game.
I also think though that I didn't know that Jalen Hurts was only playing at 70%, but even if he did look slow, and I feel like that's another reason why the Vikings even made a comeback, because it seems like both weeks when the Eagles would get to big leads, it just looked like they would start trolling or just not even caring anymore. So that's another thing why I'm not maybe as high on the Vikings as everyone else is. I know the first game, I will admit their defense played decent, but it was against Baker Mayfield, not giving them props for that. And then against the Eagles, the Eagles just look slow after they get to big leads.
How about that NFC South right now? Yeah, without the worst division of football, 3 teams 2-0 right now.
What's crazy is I can't remember who I had winning this division. I think it was the Saints, but I really can't remember who I had last. I don't know if I had the Bucks or Panthers. I think I had the Panthers.
I can't remember either.
But honestly, dude, Falcons have been impressing me. That's all I gotta say.
I'm not too surprised by it because Arthur Smith's got a bunch of wins last year doing what he was doing, and he added Bijan to this mix.
Bro,
so
Bijan is just nuts. I do want to foremost go ahead. I did get Bijan in one of my leagues because I had the first pick and then I snaked it, and Bijan fell to second. But it's what's crazy is I was high on Bijan as a player, but I was not high on Bijan where I'm gonna pick him up first round in fantasy. I do want to say I was wrong. I was very much wrong.
This how it was for me in fantasy. In the first round, I only wanted Pollard or Bijan as my running backs. That was it. Obviously, CMC was never getting to me because he would have went top 3. But other than that, I would have passed on everybody, and I would have drafted a wide receiver instead. So Pollard fell to me. I was like, yep, taking him. He's been great so far. And Bijan, of course, went to Dustin in our league. So
I literally in every league I'm in, Bijan's on my team. It seems like I was always at like the end of the first round or towards the end, like the middle of the first round. And to me, Bijan was just the guy that I thought could get 20 points a game, and he hasn't disappointed yet. So
not surprised at all. But I think that's it, unless you guys have anything else to add.
Nope.
Good luck to everybody's team on Sunday and Monday. We shall see who is 0-3, who's 3-0.
Let's see if me and Alex can keep this 2-0.
Bro.
This undefeated going.
Darren Waller, man, last night. But it's okay because it's Yahoo Fantasy, 14 people in the league.
Anything can happen.
Somebody on my team's going to pop 20 for 30 and make up for it. So it's okay.
Which, by the way, were you panicked when George Pickens almost made a comeback on you?
Oh, yes, dude.
Dude, no.
Well, against Ricardo? Or no, Gilberto?
Yeah.
I mean...
No, I will say Gilberto is
Was that a Monday game?
Yeah, it was on Monday.
Yeah, I was pretty worried, but I was like, I had such a decent lead. I honestly did not pay attention at all. I was like, I'd definitely win this game.
He cut it to like 2, I think.
No, I thought I beat him by 25.
No, 2.
No, George Pickens went off, bro.
148 to 150.
Well, I know George Pickens. Hold on.
It was like 148 to 150.
For real?
Yeah, he cut it.
Hold on. How do you look at the schedule?
And he started Jimmy G. If he did not start Jimmy G,
oh
he
my God.
Won. Yeah.
Dude.
He started Jimmy G.
I didn't even pay attention at all. Holy shit. Dude, that could have been bad. Like, I literally just put the phone down. I was like, yep, I'm winning this. Wow. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Gilberto, man. God damn it. Sorry, buddy.
All right, man. We'll see you all in the next episode. Listen to Slant, as always, saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and click here to subscribe and, of course, to watch some more.